Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. Today I saw a woman on her phone told her toddler to pee on the street and some bystanders said there's a restroom nearby. She immediately scolded her kid when she's the one who told her to do it in the first place. I feel so bad for that little girl because her pants were soaking wet with pee and the mom couldn't be bothered to take her into the restroom. Some bystanders watching the whole event unfold told her to take the kid in the restroom nearby. Since she was too busy on her phone, she pretended to be shocked as she didn't notice the sign, in huge bold letters, for the restroom. She told her kid to stand up and put her pants up. She was already squatting on the sidewalk peeing, and scolded her for acting like a dog. One old lady who called for her attention said she shouldn't scold her child like that as it's her fault for not putting diapers on her. She looks like 3 or 4 years old, or tending to her needs to pee before she busied herself with her phone. The mom reacted and screamed to not judge her and mind their own business. The old lady reacted and said that if she helped her kid to the toilet, this wouldn't happen. She viewed her kid peeing on her pants in public because her mom couldn't take off her eyes from the phone was an attack to her character. Yes, it's an insult to you as a parent and as a human being. I can't imagine letting a young child pee herself because her mom couldn't be bothered. Some people doesn't deserve to be parents at all. Story 2. I'm your parent choice here, so I'm obligated to love you but I don't have to like you growing up. I got this so many times between age 12 to 20 something from my adoptive father. It was very clear my brother was the golden child and I was the scapegoat. I haven't spoken to me since my 9-year-old was a baby. Story 3. My mother refuses to put her seatbelt while I drive, stating, "Don't worry, cops won't do anything to you." Hi y'all, Candy here. It's been quite some time since I last wrote on this sub, but this will be a rather short story. I am cuddly wondering if I should post this on r/fuckyouKaren. To give you some background, that's the same person that threw me a bag of chips, and trying to hit me, cause she couldn't win an argument over her not being able to use a credit card. I'll leave you that post here, link. Also, for my entire childhood I've been taught that I should always put my seatbelt on when I'm in a car with someone. That's common sense, for both safety and legal, making sure that if something happens the other person doesn't risk losing his/her driving license because of me. Poro poses. This thing literally happened sometime earlier this morning. My mom asked me to take her to the city center of my hometown and I had no problem with that. The thing I had problems with is that she didn't want to put her seatbelt on, even when I asked to do so, stating that cops wouldn't take points off my driving license if they pulled us over. That conversation went as follows. Me, put your seatbelt on, please. Her, no, I'm not gonna do that. Me, put it on. Let me remind you, I'm the one driving. If something happens or cops pulls us over, my driving license is on the line. Her, nothing's going to happen, and cops won't tell you anything. Me, whatever you say. Note that I didn't remember her that in case of an accident, she would have her head fused with the windshield in a matter of milliseconds and neither her reflexes she's so proud of would have saved her, mostly because of her age and Karenly attitude, but honestly I would laugh so freaking hard if that happened. I know I should have insisted, as also my dad suggested, but I had other things to do at home and I didn't want to have her making a scene over this. I wanted that to end ASAP. Edit. THX for all the. Story 4. Entitled Mummy Angry I'm Doing Laundry. I just bought one of those small, portable washing machines. The kind you might use in a caravan, or in my case, an apartment with no plumbing for a washing machine. I was hanging my bed sheets over my area in the window yesterday. The sun come through the front windows early in the morning, so by the time I got up today it was dry. As I was hanging my duvet cover, which for context is multicolored pastel colors striped on one side, and flowers the other side, I heard through my very obvious open window. Ugh! Stay away girls, it's one of those LGBTers again, I don't want you getting any ideas. I glare at her, through my window, and lower my head to the open part of the window. I'm doing my laundry, in my house Karen, that just so happens to be colored stripes. Not every color on earth is gay, you know. And even if it was, why would you care? Points to her tie-dye leggings and gives her the "are you dumb" stare. Her daughters, by the way, were literally wearing rainbow socks and pastel-looking jean short things, so like, wah? She then stops walking, turns to me and goes, "You're spreading the gay agenda." I reply, "I am doing my fucking laundry," and slam the window shut. I then head outside to find that, in the short few seconds of this particular interaction, maybe 3 or 4 people are just standing watching her rant and rave about my freaking laundry. I get to it in the Tinya's front yard, and she's waving her arms around telling everyone how I'm spreading a toxic agenda around, by doing my laundry, inside my own home. I'm going to ask you to leave, or the police will be involved. I've done nothing to anyone, I'm literally just doing my laundry, in my own home, and you're screaming at me for something that doesn't even exist. If you want though, I can show you the pride flag that hangs in my front room, or maybe I should hang my bright pink polka-dotted panties up alongside my skirt. I'm 25 male FYI. The look on her face was as if I just told her I eat babies. I gestured to her to leave, the same way you might do with a badly behaved dog, and she did actually leave. Still muttering her rants and nonsense, but she left. Her daughters her bright red in the face staring at their phone, clearly wanting to just disappear and not exist anywhere near their mother. TLDR, entitled Karen Mother Angry I Was Washing Colored Stripy Bed Sheets. Story 5. My parents think my boyfriend is making me be trans. I am 22, trans female, and I have a boyfriend, trans male non-binary, important later on, who recently celebrated their 22nd birthday as well. We have known each other existed since 1st grade, became friends in 3rd grade, and then closer friends in 6th. A lot of his other friends left him in middle school, and I was one of the 2 who stayed with him when he came out in 8th grade. I even got my parents to use his right name and pronouns, which I personally thought was impressive, as I and my 3 older siblings, now 26 non-binary, 25M, 23F, grew up going to church, Salvation Army. I'll go more into it later on. I kind of knew I wasn't cis/straight throughout most of high school, but considering my parents, who are now 55F and 70+M, honestly I stopped keeping track at 60, I didn't really look too deep into it. My now BF, who was just a friend at the time, took me to a queer prom when we were in grade 11, where I dressed in a suit, with a women's blazer, heels, and makeup. I hated the fake nails but loved everything else. We went again the next year when we were in grade 12, and I brought my actual prom suit from high school to the queer one as well. I enjoyed the queer one more. It was about 2 years ago that I realized I wanted to be a girl. I looked back on myself and my childhood, which I'll briefly name some of the things that should have tipped me off. I liked wearing clear coat glitter nail polish. One Sunday morning when I put some on myself and my mom noticed, she said we didn't have time to buy nail polish remover, and come home to take it off. So she made me wear gloves. We bought remover from the store, and then she took me into the women's bathroom to remove it myself as she yelled at me to hurry up. I loved watching the Disney princess movies growing up. Animation over gritty live action any day. A lot of TV shows I liked were actually geared more towards girls: Atomic Betty, Kim Possible, Totally Spies, Ruby Gloom, or the ones I did like watching that were for boys: Martin Mystery, Hot Wheels, Johnny Test, Foster's Home. I always enjoyed the female characters more. At the time I thought it was crushes, but what I was actually feeling was an aspiration to look like them. I always thought they were pretty and had fun personalities. But not ones I wanted to date, ones I wanted to have. Up until puberty struck, I had one guy friend and then almost entirely a female friend group. I can make another post entirely about my teenage years, but moving forward to living alone in 2021 I realized I was transgender. I wanted to be a girl. I told my friends who all supported me. I supported my oldest siblings, when they came out in 2022. They even privately talked to me about it, and that's when I slipped out and told them about me. This was also when that long-time friend and I started going out. We dated like 3 different times throughout the school year, but both wanted to be serious for this one. In 2023 I came out fully to everyone on my birthday. Co-workers, boss, all my friends, family. Everyone said they were happy for me. But my parents still use my old name and pronouns. My dad I sort of written off, all my siblings think he's going senile anyway, so, I personally think getting him to do it is a lost cause, but my mother is the same way. Using female pronouns for my oldest siblings. However, I assumed because she changed and used the proper name and pronouns for my boyfriend then she would do the same for me, right? We just had a talk today, where she asked how long we were dating, me and my boyfriend. Because she wanted to compare when I came out, to her, I came out this year but realized well before now, with when I started dating. Note that, this isn't my first significant other either, I just never told her about all my other ones. Another story for another day, but my mother loves to know everything even if it requires invading personal space and privacy. She just wants her sweet innocent boy to come back to her, she wants me her obedient quiet child to never speak up or voice my opinion. I moved out. I only interact with my mother for holidays and because of a family plan phone bill, $40 a month for me, 4 GB and unlimited texting and calling, but this just feels so invalidating. They think my boyfriend who I've known forever is taking advantage of me and using me for my money, which is not true. My boyfriend gets uncomfortable whenever I pay for meals or gifts for him. It's true he has a bit of a money issue, it's because of health problems and only getting 2 shifts a week at his work, to pay for gas, rent from parents, and medication. I have more disposable income than he does, so I pay for more dates. It's that simple. I only interact with my dad whenever I can't get a taxi to work and I pay him about $4 for that. I have no license or car. I actually just applied to get a credit card a week ago, one step closer to getting my phone off the parents' bill. I just feel invalidated. I've felt it a bit through my life from my parents, but knowing that they don't see me for who I am or who I'm comfortable being, and instead want the child they know back, the child that was in the closet, didn't speak up, the personality I made so they wouldn't question me. Story 6. I need an outsider's point of view. So I moved out of my parents' house. I moved in with random roommates, I don't know them, which I'm fine with. The house is nice and clean. Anyways, I sent my mom a text instead of telling her in person because these past 4 to 5 years there's been a pattern. Every time I open up to them they always try to emotionally manipulate me / put me down. If I were to sit down with her and my stepdad it would have eventually ended going how it usually goes. He pushes my buttons and gaslight me, she'll make excuses and stress me out to the point where I give up. Anyways, when I sent her the text I was nervous, didn't want to call her or look at the text messages. Didn't want to do the same for my stepdad either. She ended up threatening to call the police if I didn't respond and eventually called another family member who thought something bad happened to me. I ended up calling her / responding within 24 hours and she surprisingly didn't act the way that she's been throughout the years, so I regretted not telling her in person. But I feel conflicted because if I did told both of them in person there was a high chance they would take away my confidence and put me down. And I thought it was weird that she said I'm gonna call the police, I don't care that you are an adult, even though I texted her beforehand saying I was moving. I didn't give her the address but I still texted her I was leaving despite not responding to her when she texted me back. It wasn't like there was 24 hours of no response. I was not missing. Like if I didn't respond after 24 hours then I can see why she would call the police, but it was only an hour of me not responding back to her after texting her I was moving. Of course they were gonna be worried about me leaving with random roommates, but they have a tendency to put me down and emotionally manipulate me and I didn't want to deal with that part of the conversation, if that makes sense. Edit. I feel weird calling it gaslighting because it's a common word to say now, even though it is anyone else feel the same way? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.